Part 2s, follow-ups, second comings. Call them what you will, sequels are, for the most part, music to a video gamer's ears. An extension of something loved that came before, ready for round 2, 3, or, if you're FIFA, round 28. Anticipation of a gaming sequel is electric, sending fizzy feelings through our very fingertips as we load up the latest instalment and get ready to batter those buttons one more time. And yet, some of the very best video games out there stand alone. One and done, unsequeled, never to tickle our television screens again. Crimes such as these should not remain unpunished. So, if you'll kindly all rise, court is now in session. Here are 5 standalone video games that, criminally, don't have sequels, but desperately need one. Number 5. Star Fox Adventures. The problem with late 90s, early 2000s Rare is that they were capable of doing no wrong. From GoldenEye and Diddy Kong Racing to Jet Force Gemini and Banjo-Kazooie, Rare's catalogue was all kinds of crazy good. So when Star Fox Adventures was the studio's parting gift to Nintendo before Microsoft gobbled them up, it garnered mixed reviews by comparison. But looking past the chaos that came before the game's release, it could, and should, have been the start of a new and stellar Star Fox franchise. With the leaked Dinosaur Planet game pinning the spotlight back on Fox McCloud's singular adventure outing, now's as good a time as any to make some noise about a potential sequel. The original has all the makings of a must-play series akin to The Legend of Zelda, but Star Fox also added the joyous element of spaceship combat in the game's R-Wing mode. Fox and his friends haven't seen a great deal of screen time on Nintendo's most recent console offerings, so there's definitely space for them on the Switch. Get it? Space? Space! Space! On top of its great gameplay, Star Fox Adventures was also a sight to behold even back in 2002. So with all that in mind, it's time to give Crystal those crystal clear visuals she deserves and barrel roll out a sequel.
Do a barrel roll!
Number 4. Hogs of War.
I feed on violence, and now I'm full.
An immortal line from everyone's favourite swine, but one I wholeheartedly disagree with. I am famished and need all the hog-heavy violence a boy can bear. An itch only the bacon-bloodied battlefields of Hogs of War can possibly hope to scratch. Based on the World War I inspired battlegrounds of Sostralasia, teams of anthropomorphic swine attempt to barbecue the enemy team's piggies in a 3D comedy clash akin to Worms. And what a riot it was. Expertly voiced by the sadly departed Rick Mayall, the gameplay was complemented by the ridiculous silliness of the dialogue and animations. A meaty picnic for PlayStation players the world over. A sequel was announced way back in 2008, though this never materialised. A genuine war crime, if you ask me. In an era where online play is rife, and a rib-tickling romp like this would be a welcome addition to everyone's collection, Hogs of War 2 is dripping with potential. Game on. Gammon? Never mind.
If we can't find a war, we'll blooming well start one. That's the spirit.
Number 3. The Witness. Puzzle games might not be every gamer's can of caffeine-crammed energy beverage, but not since Tetris blipped its way onto the Electronica 60 back in 1984 has a puzzle game been as undeniably outstanding as 2016's The Witness. Lovingly blending together the enigmatic exploration of point-and-click classics like Myst with some of the most epiphanic puzzle solving since the inception of Sudoku, The Witness is both brilliant and a complete and utter bastard. Since playing it, no other puzzle game has even come close to capturing the same sense of befuddlement, wonder, or accomplishment that persevering with the island's many mysteries delivers. The Witness really is a very personal and subjective experience, which makes determining exactly what a sequel would even look like quite unknowable. I just know that one needs to come along eventually. Otherwise, the puzzle genre has well and truly reached its peak, literally, in this case, far too soon. Give me more gorgeous grids, god damn it! Number 2. Eternal Darkness. Sure, there's plenty out there in the video game world to be petrified about. Between your Resident Evils and Little Nightmares, just about every kind of creepy concoction is available, should you be so inclined to fill your pants with a bowely brown broth. But there's just something really novel and unforgettable about Alex Roivas and her one-off battle against the end of humanity that simply needs to be revisited. Eternal Darkness introduced the gaming world to the sanity meter, a seminal feature that caused trippy and terrifying events to occur on screen based on how insane the character you played as became. Manage to bypass the boogeymen and kill off the creatures that lurked in the titular darkness, and your sanity remained mostly untouched. But become too overwhelmed by the frightful sights and sounds, and the world around you would morph accordingly. Walls would inexplicably drip with blood, the cries of innumerable tortured souls would echo all around, and, brilliantly, your game saves would be deleted, or your TV would switch off, or the game would just reset.
This isn't really happening!
Of course, none of this was really happening. You were experiencing the detrimental effects of going absolutely f***ing insane. But that's why a sequel needs to one day draw out from the darkness and into the light. Imagine how wonderful these sanity effects could look and feel with today's technology. And, gimmicks aside, Eternal Darkness still has one of the best era-spanning storylines of any horror game out there. So make it happen, please. Or maybe I really will go insane after all!
May the rats eat your eyes! I am now lost to your cause! The darkness comes! It will damn us all!
Number 1. Conker's Bad Fur Day. Yes, we're back with Rare again. But look, it's hardly my fault that they just wouldn't stop birthing such classic video games. Now then, you're forgiven if you've never heard of Conker because, well, Conker nearly didn't make it to a console at all. Featured originally as one of Diddy Kong Racing's playable pals, Conker was a chirpy, cheerful, sickly little squirrel that was destined for mediocrity in a kid-friendly platforming adventure akin to Rare's Donkey Kong and Banjo-Kazooie titles, but they realised that nothing made the nut-loving loser stand out in this already saturated marketplace. Enter Conker's Bad Fur Day, an 18-rated, raunchy rollercoaster of sex, drugs, and talking turds? No, I did not misspeak. Evidently aimed at an older, late-teen audience, the game sadly flopped in sales due to its release at the end of the Nintendo 64's lifecycle, but the game caught on fire over the years that would follow, with quite the cult following. And though the game did almost kinda get 1 or 2 sequels as part of the short-lived Project Spark and later on the Microsoft HoloLens, neither were quite it. As a result of these ill-fated attempts at doing something new with the Conker franchise, many still yearn for a proper sequel to one of video gaming's greatest and grossest gambles. And I can only imagine just how nuts a proper sequel would send gaming communities the world over. Long live the king. And there we have it. 5 of the finest standalone romps ever to grace our gaming screens. And who knows, with video gaming just about as popular as it's ever been, maybe one of these estranged diamonds will get a second chance to shine after all. Until then, why not let me know which standalone game you'd love to see get a sequel down in the comments below. And whilst you're there, you can even like this video, share it with your favourite gaming guy or gal, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the inevitable sequel to this little video right here. I've been Adam at Glitchqraft, and you've been all kinds of sexy. I appreciate you very much indeed.